Hey, what's up guys, Oxygenos best here. The OnePlus 7T is a damn good deal. And even though this phone only costs $599, it has features inside of it that can rival and even beat out phones like its older brother, the OnePlus 7 Pro, and a lot of other phones around the same price point. So let's talk about those things right now. Okay, first, OnePlus has always been on point with their design, and that continues with this 7T. Now, the first thing that is going to jump out to you is this new circular camera bump. And the cameras are still in the horizontal format, but they have this circular housing around it, keeping all the components together nice and tight inside of it. So it's a little bit sharp around the edge, but I do like the way it looks. And then this phone also comes in two different colors. You have the glacier blue color, which I'm showing you now, which is a lighter blue than the really dark aggressive blue that's on the 7 Pro, but I like it. It still is eye-catching. And then also you do have this frosted silver version, which is also growing on me, so I may actually cop this version as well. And so on the bottom of the phone, you will find the USB-C port. On the right-hand side, you're gonna find that power button and also that very convenient slider to control all of your different sound options. And then on the left-hand side, you're gonna find the volume buttons. So this phone does not have a micro SD card slot, nor does it have a headphone jack, but what it does have is just a better feel in your hand, because coming from the 7 Pro, which is a little bit of a tank of a phone, this phone is going to be thinner and lighter than that phone, so it's going to be easier to hold. And then when you flip this phone over, you will find a 6.55-inch 2400 by 1080p display, and this screen is not going to be better than the 7 Pro, and it's not going to be better than the Note 10 or the iPhone 11, but I think it's going to be good enough. But there's one thing about this screen that does keep it in the conversation, and that's the fact that it runs at 90 Hertz, just like the OnePlus 7 Pro. So anything that you're looking at on this screen is just going to look and feel faster. And OnePlus has also made that teardrop front-facing cameras a little bit smaller as far as that surface area that covers. So this screen does have a better screen-to-body ratio than what you found on the OnePlus 6T, which had a similar teardrop setup. And so underneath the screen, you will find a fingerprint sensor, and something new on this 7T is that it is going to have a smoother animation. So you can look at this comparison with the 7 Pro, and the 7 Pro just really kind of punches you into the operating system. It's really fast and really sharp, but the 7T just kind of gently glides you into your phone. And when you get into this phone, you will find that it is running Android 10, and there are a lot of Android phones, and some of those phones that cost over $1,000 that cannot say that. So the 7T will be shipping with Android 10, and of course OnePlus will have their oxygenos running on top of it. So it's very similar and familiar to just stock Android, but OnePlus kind of gives it a little extra enhancements and things like that to put on top of the OS to kind of make it a little bit more unique. And in my quick time with this phone, I did find that the gestures and things like that are smoother and better. So I'm liking the enhancements so far with the software. And to keep this software running speedy, this phone does have the new Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 Plus platform inside of it. So this is a bump up from the 855 that you find in the 7 Pro. And it does come in a couple of different storage configurations depending on the market that you're in. So that's going to be 128 gigabytes and also 256 gigabytes of UFS 3.0 storage. And then this phone will only have one option with RAM, and that's going to be 8 gigabytes compared to the 8 or 12 gigabytes that you can get on the 7 Pro. But what about that battery life though? So this 7T does have a 3800 milliamp battery inside of it compared to the 4000 milliamp battery inside of the 7 Pro. But the 7T does have one trick up its sleeve, and that's the fact that it does support the new Warp Charge 30T fast charging. So OnePlus claims that this 30T fast charging is about 23% faster than Warp Charge 30. So they say that on this phone, you should be able to charge from 0 to 70% in just 30 minutes. And because all of the goodness that makes this fast charging work is being handled inside of the power brick instead of the phone, you can be charging your phone and using it at the same time, and your phone should still be remaining really nice and cool and still be able to maintain those fast charging speeds. And so yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything about this phone. Wait. You know I can't leave before I talk about the cameras. So I briefly mentioned before that this phone does have a triple camera setup. So you have your 48 megapixel main camera, the camera that you default into every time you open up the camera app. And then you also have a 16 megapixel ultra wide camera, so you can get a lot in your picture or your video. And then also you have a telephoto camera, which is going to be bumped up in megapixels compared to what's on the 7 Pro. So instead of 8 megapixels, now you have 12 megapixels. And this is also going to be handy if you use the new macro mode on this phone. So this allows you to get super close to something. I think around 2.5 centimeters is something where you can be super close and still get somewhat of a sharp image out of that. Okay, so let's do something fun real quick. And this is going to be a blind comparison with the main camera on on this 7T versus the main camera on the iPhone 11 Pro. So I'm putting up both of these pictures, so just take a second to look at them and try to decide which picture is coming from which phone. So just take a gander at these photos, look at the clouds and look at the shadows and look at how both of these photos are handling the HDR, and that might give away which one of these is coming from which phone. So you think you got it? You think you figured it out? You think you're right? So let's go and see if you are right. So on the left-hand side, we have the photo that's coming from the iPhone 11 Pro. And on the right-hand side, you have the photo coming from the OnePlus 7T. So for me, if I was doing this blind test without, of course, using these phones like I've been using, I think I would be able to tell the difference between them. But I think it's really close. And when you think about that price difference, you're talking about a few $100s here, you can really see that the 7T is not that bad. Now, I think in other situations, which I'm going to cover in another video, the 7T does fall behind, but I'm going to really give you a nice little comparison video between these two phones. So make sure you do subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload that video. Okay, so let's wrap things up real quick. So I didn't have this phone for enough time to do a video and call it a full review. I'm not going to do that. So I want to make sure I have enough time with this phone to make sure I can let you know the good and bad things about it. So stay tuned for more content about this new OnePlus 7T. But until then, leave your comment down below and let me know what you think about this phone for $599. Do you think it's a good deal? Do you like the features inside of it? Let me know. And also, again, be sure to subscribe, follow me on all my different social media accounts. And like always, I do want to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.